Okay, there you go. As hello and hello, beautiful people. Hello, Dr. Cherry. Thank you for joining once
Hi.
again. She is
Of
definitely
course.
my co-host here now. All right. Okay, so to those of you who are joining, thank you for joining us once again. We really appreciate it. We are here for you just as much as we are here for ourselves because we have to do the work. We want to walk the walk and talk the talk. We do what we say we give you to do. We also
Mhm.
apply it to our lives, and I think that that should
Mhm.
be important to you as well. And this certainly is a platform. This is passion plus purpose equals profit, which is a platform dedicated to health, mental health, helping people improve their lives, helping people to reach their perspective of success, whatever that is for you. That's what we're here to help you do as well. All right. Um, Actually, I see. I think I wanted to say something specific, but okay, it left me. How about that? Welcome to live. so, so
Welcome.
anyway, my name is Katie Flowers, and I am your hostess. I am also a master life coach as well as a business consultant. You can also let's see. Did I put the ticker up there yet? Let's see. There you go. So you can kind of see all that stuff down there. Okay, and you can actually visit my URL and all that kind of my website. I also offer 30-minute free consultation just to see if we are a good fit and how I could best assist you. Okay, and in regards to payments, I can't speak for Dr. Naisha, but I can speak for myself on that. But I would definitely work with you, because I know that these are challenging times for a lot of people, but a lot of people do need our services. A lot of people need coaching and consultant services just almost as much as they need a doctor, right? So I just wanted to also put that out there for you to think about. DM me, sneak in my inbox, DM me if you want to. We could talk about it there as well. Great. Today's transformation series also is we're going to be talking about limiting beliefs and how to get rid of those or take control over your limiting beliefs. Okay, but in the meantime, I want to bounce it to Dr. Cherries to give her an opportunity to introduce herself.
Hello, 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 lovely people. So I am Dr. Maisha Cherry. I am a health coach who focuses on mind and body. I'm a yoga instructor, retreat leader, and I also sell swimwear and self-care products. So I am a holistic health coach. I try to help you in every area of your life. I do have a retreat coming up in August, so if you're interested, let's talk. Get in my DM. Let's talk about how I can help you make sure you come on a retreat. And I'm with Katie. I do, you know, free or complimentary clarity calls to make sure that we are a great fit to work together. And also, I'm willing to work with you as well because like Katie said, these are challenging times. The economy is different. You may or may not be working a job that pays you what you want to be paid. Things happen. So we are here to help you to be successful because, yes, having a coach is just as important and instrumental as having a doctor. So, yes,
Yes, yes, yes, it is. Okay. All right. Thank you, Dr. Sherry, for that.
absolutely.
Um, and check out when you're on the Passion, Purpose, Profit platform where we are now. Actually, I put this on all of my social media platforms, but this one in particular is where you could get on there and see some of the stuff that Dr. Cherry does and some of the outfits and stuff that she sells for yoga and retreats and all of this kind of good stuff. And it's actually some really yummy stuff that I wouldn't post it if it wasn't. Trust and believe it. I love it. And I think it's something that we need to consider when we are working out and even when we're trying to get our minds together. The way we look to ourselves is very important, right? And I mean,
Yeah.
I get up every day. I mean, like, I get up every day and I do something to myself, right? Just to clear my mind and get a better picture of myself. And that way I can actually see myself even in a more improved life, a more improved body. You know what I mean? But if you're just dragging
Hmm.
around and you're just, if you're looking bad to yourself and you're smelling bad to yourself, you're not doing yourself a big favor, right? You're not going to get yourself up out of that funk that way. You got
Right.
to get up and beautify yourself, love on yourself. And so that's what we're here to help you do too.
Oh,
Right?
absolutely.
Okay. So,
Hmm.
real quick, I'm going to just kind of read off my notes and to get into the conversation about identifying our beliefs and how we can change them. Right. Um, okay. So, first, limiting beliefs, according to Albert Ellis, who was an American psychologist and psychotherapist, who founded Rational Emotional Behavior Therapy. Irrational beliefs are dysfunctional beliefs. Now remember that. Irrational beliefs are dysfunctional beliefs that people often hold about themselves, others, and the world in general.
Hmm.
And for the most part, what makes limiting beliefs so irrational is that they are ideas that doesn't correspond with reality. Now, a lot of people get kind of ticked with that because they're like, "Well, you're saying I'm crazy or anything like that." No, not necessarily. It's just that sometimes our thinking gets askew. It gets faltered somewhere along the
Yeah.
is faulty somewhere along the way, right? And it has a lot to do with how we were growing up, right?
Hmm.
And a lot of times parents want to take themselves out of the equation once a child becomes an adult, but we can't do that because as a parent, we actually formed these thoughts in our child, whether we wanted to or not, right? So we
Hmm.
become that voice in their head. And so,
Hmm.
and they usually, I'm continuing on, and they usually manifest in the form of I should or I have um, to which often creates our discomfort because they impose conditions on a person's worth and happiness that are impossible to meet. And this is why limiting beliefs, they have to be nipped in the bud, because if not, they will suck the true life out of you before you even acknowledge that you are actually living a life that you can actually create and have for yourself, right? And then they also become damaging because you can help destroy another person, not intentionally, but we tend to do that, especially with, again, with our children, or if we are overseers of others. We have any type of authority. Then a lot of times our words, they can mess people up.
Yep,
You know.
I agree because like I was a teacher, and so you had to watch what you would say to your students because you don't want to stifle their growth, their development, their beliefs, and all that thing with the negativity that you're planting in their minds.
Hmm.
Beliefs are not factual, so that's important to remember. Like your beliefs are like your
That's right.
thoughts; they're not factual. You
That's right.
form them. It's based on your, like she said, like Katie said, it's based on your upbringing, who you've been around. That has a lot of play into what you believe about yourself and what you're capable of doing, or what you think you're capable
Mhm.
of thinking of doing, I should say.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Hmm.
And then when we are thinking of, okay, example of a limiting belief. I will use myself, and Dr. Sherry, you can use yours too if you like. Mine was before I became enlightened of what was going on. It was more so you're not worthy. You will never succeed in life because you don't really have what it takes to succeed in it. So you might as well just settle and be a wife, pregnant, barefoot, constantly. So, because that's the only way you're gonna ever be, make it in the world. And this came, excuse me, this once I did the work, the growth work, I began to understand where this voice come from. This voice had come
Mhm.
from a parent, my stepdad, and another voice would come from my mom, who I mean, they wasn't taught about emotions, right? So they couldn't teach me how to express my emotions or anything like that from the things that they would say. And if I did say anything back, it would be a backlash for it. So I would just, clam down, right? And but that hurt me when I got out into the world and started
Mhm.
actually trying to do business with people and have these particular conversations with folks. Because if I thought that they um, were thinking who she thinks she is, and dare them to even say anything, something like that. Now you can say it to me now, I blow that off, or I might say something back to you. You know what I mean? But before I understood what that was, it really sucked a lot of the life out of me. Um, and so that was one of my limiting thoughts. But then what I learned was to
Mhm.
replace that voice, right?
Mhm.
And that's where I took my power back, and that's where you can take yours back, is to replace that something with a positive affirmation, you
Yes.
know. So now is, I'll replace that when I hear it come in my head. I'll replace that with, Katie is a genius.
And
Yes.
like you said, when you hear it come in your head, so that's like one of the first things is to be aware of the limiting thoughts, the limiting beliefs. Once you become aware of it, then you can work on changing it. But until you know that that limiting belief is popping up, you're not going to be able to change it.
And that's the thing. That's the key, to be able to identify
Mhm.
your limiting beliefs. Because like you said, if you can't identify it, you can't work it out. And you
Right.
and so and you seem like you're spinning your wheels, right? And
Yes.
so that's why I wrote the blog, which I'll paste it on the comments at the end of this live. But the blog is talking about what we're talking about right now, and it's going to help you identify what your limiting beliefs are.
Mhm. Mhm.
Everybody has them. Everybody has them. Everybody,
Mhm.
everybody. you know, you know. But what makes it so different along the way is that a lot of us have learned how to clean it up. you know, so you right, because you see some people and it's like, oh, they just seem like they got their shit together. They're just old. And really, a lot of times, if you were to really talk to these people, you'll find, hey, they had to do some self work. They had to
Yes.
get deep.
And that's what it is. You have to do the work. Like if you don't do the work, then you're not gonna accomplish whatever it is you're working on. If it's getting rid of limiting beliefs or anything else, you have to do the work. And people don't want
Yes.
to do the work.
Yes. Now, let's just touch on that for a second. When we decide that we don't want to do the work on ourselves that we know we need to do, take a real honest look at the result of that.
Mhm.
What are your results for not putting in this work to invest in yourself
And
to
do you like
improve
the
your
results?
life? Right. So, what are you going to do if you want to move forward? If you find yourself stuck, if you
Mhm.
find that you hate the life that you are actually living, right? You have to understand too that that's part of taking on your responsibility and accountability
Mhm.
for yourself. You
Mhm. And
can't
taking
keep
your power
passing the
back,
buck.
like you said.
Yeah, say that again, Dr.
Taking your power back, like you said.
Taking your power back.
Mhm.
Yes, taking
Mhm.
your power back. That's called empowerment, right? To take your power
Yes.
back. And a lot of us don't, we hear the word empowerment, we hear the phrase taking your power back, but what does that really mean, right? Do you know what it actually means? So, from our perspective, right, what it means is to acknowledge who you are in the world, acknowledge
Mm-hmm.
how you show up in the world, take that accountability and that responsibility for yourself. All your relationships, whatever they are, business, platonic, friends, whatever, intimate, I don't care, children, whatever. If your relationships are failing in those areas, it's really more about you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, it really is.
Because they are a reflection of you and how you're interacting with people.
We mirror one another back.
Mm-hmm.
We do. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and I think about a lot of times when I get into a good relationship with a person, friendship wise and stuff. But then they'll start to do something, I don't know, kind of take advantage in a way that I don't like, or they believe that they are so comfortable with me that they can just kind of say whatever to me,
Mm.
um, you know, and I'm like, no, no, I have to then put my foot down and be like, no, this is not how that's gonna work. In other words, I'm like this no sense kind of a person to a degree, right? But I had to learn how to be that way, because if not, I would feel even worse to allow
Mm.
people to do this. And I know I should have stood up for myself. I should have
Mm-hmm. And
showed
that's
up for
part of
myself.
self care because you teach people how to treat you. And so if you don't teach them how to treat you, then they're gonna treat you like crap, or in a way that you don't like. And that's
Mhm.
not caring for yourself fully.
Mhm. Mhm. And so
Mm-hmm.
part of that, I believe, it has a lot to do once again with how we think of ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it has a lot to do with that voice that um, enters our head about
Mm-hmm.
who do we think we are, and
Mm-hmm.
and why do we think we deserve um, to live a certain type of lifestyle. Who told you to try to get out of the barrel where all the crabs are? You know what I mean? How dare you? Who told you that you could do these things, right? And so it's almost like we're looking for the external sources to say it's okay, instead of taking our power back once again and acknowledging, like, hey, I'm the one who decide where I want this to be.
Exactly. Because who told you you had to stay in that barrel with all the crabs? Who said that was what you need to do with your life? Nobody said that either. So
Right.
you choose to go.
Exactly. 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 But once again, I think that comes with clarity about who you are. And so
Mm-hmm.
I push about limiting beliefs, cognitive behavior. I push about these things because I realize that, and the only way that you're going to ever reach the point where you really want to be in life and be that person and show up as that person that you really want to be in life, it starts in here.
Yes.
Everything starts in here.
I
And so we
100% agree.
thank you. And so
Mm-hmm.
we have to declutter. We have to get the junk out, right? So
Get
I
the
get
junk
so
out.
get the junk out. So a lot of get it out. I mean, it's a lot because we have to unpack. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Take out the trash.
take out the trash, right? And then too, it's like working out when you're trying to lose. I don't know. Say you're. I'll take me. I always try to use me as an example. You know, I'm a bit overweight. Because they say anybody over 30 pounds really is obese. That's what I've heard. So I'm over 30 pounds of my weight, right? But I had to sit back and think about it. I said, what the? It took me a minute to get there. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
This weight didn't just come on all of a sudden.
Right.
It happened over time.
Mhm.
And so now I have to give it time and do what I have to do though
Oh my
to
God.
make it work.
You are speaking a gem right now because so many people are like, I want overnight success. No, you didn't gain that weight overnight, so you're not gonna get overnight weight loss.
No.
And if you're not putting in the work, you definitely not gonna get overnight weight loss. So like, it's
Mhm.
not gonna happen.
Mhm. 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 And that's the truth, Ruth. It's just not. So that's like with anything. With anything, you have to go after it.
Hmm.
You have to want it bad enough. You have to be hungry for it to be a part of your life. You know, because if you're not, then it's not ever going to happen. But on the flip of that coin, you can't. It's a shame to be angry with the world when you're not willing to do what you need to do to show up in the world as the person that you really want to be. You understand? So a lot of times people get angry. You know, they become really bitter with the
Hmm.
outside world because they're not who they want to be, and
Right.
they become jealous and envious of others, but they're not stepping out doing what they can do to get what they need and what they want. Because
Hmm.
9 times out of 10, you really don't want exactly what I want. No, really, you don't. Because we're different people.
Hmm.
So, but when you see something that you think that's shiny and all this kind of stuff, and somebody else has it in their hands, seemingly to you, it's like, "Ooh, I want that too," you know.
Hmm.
But you really want something else. But my point is that if that person can go after what they want and obtain what they want, you can too.
Hmm.
Instead of just sitting back being angry and be like, look at her butt. Her butt looks great, doesn't it? Yeah, her butt looks great because she works out. you
So what
know?
you should definitely do is like whatever it is you want, you got to work backwards. So what result are you getting?
Mm-hmm.
And you getting a result based on what you're doing or not doing.
Mm-hmm.
So then
Mm-hmm.
work backwards. What actions are you taking? What actions are you not taking?
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
then work backwards again.
Mm-hmm.
I take this action or I don't take this action because I feel this way. And then what thought made you feel that way?
What thought?
And that
Mm-hmm.
relates back to your core beliefs. As in a core belief that working out, I'm sorry, weight loss should be effortless, could be a core thought. And it's not true.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so then you can change that.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, you got to go back to your thinking. What thought is going to make me feel excited about working out so that I can lose the weight
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and then go
Mm-hmm.
from there. So yeah,
Mm-hmm. And real quick, thank you guys. I see a couple are watching right now, so we really appreciate you.
yes, we
Please
do.
don't forget to like us and share and comment. You know, we'd love that.
Hmm.
So, and we're talking about this is a transformation series, and we are talking about limiting beliefs, how you can
Hmm.
change them, how you identify them in order to
Hmm.
change them, and it's very important that you do check these things out every now and then. Look, how do I put it? Check in on your core. Check in on
Mm.
who you are, right?
Hmm.
I would say every so many years, really, we need to, or maybe once a year, check in and see if we still believe the same things that we have been believing, or the things that we've been taught, to believe. A lot of the things that we've been taught are not true. But a lot of the, you know what I mean? Certain things you just need to dig deep, right? And to find out if this is really true. Where did these things come from? Who said that? Why
Right.
is it? You hear people talk about generational curses. I said, yeah, it's because of generational lies. A lot of the stuff that our parents have told us, their parents told them, what? Yeah, I was trying to think about this guy who said something about. He asked his wife, why did she always cut the end of the pot roast off? The end of it off, and she said because my grandmother always did it, her mother did it, and her mother did it. And so he said, well, have you ever asked your mother why she does that? And her mother asked her mother, why do we do that? And and her mother was like, well, I do it so the meat can fit in the pan. But see, but see, but see, a lot of times, we get down to earth. We're very down to earth, practical people.
Yes.
But
Yes.
but a lot of times, we do things because we've heard our others do it, whoever the
Yep.
others are that we respect, hold dear, or whatever.
Hmm.
And so my point is just start reading, people. We have to start reading, reading outside of your Bible, reading outside of your spiritual information that you may take in. There's a wealth of information out here that helps us to actually improve our lives. You know what I mean? And we can't. It's time for us to wake up and stop being stuck.
Yeah.
Just because someone, we're pretty much brainwashed. You know what I'm saying? And it's like we're not taught. We're more like taught that what to think. We're taught what to think,
Yes.
and we're
And
not
I
taught
got,
how.
and then like a long earlier when you had said something about like a limiting belief you had, and perhaps I would share one I had. It's like that basically, because when you're younger, you're taught to stop asking questions. Well, that stunts your curiosity. So you like, okay, well, I'm just gonna take whatever you tell me and go with it, versus I'm gonna figure it out for myself or learn from others or from reading or whatever by asking questions, because asking questions is important. And
Mhm.
so then people get paid crappy money because they don't ask questions.
Mhm.
People get the hours they don't want because they don't ask the questions.
Mhm.
All these different things happen because we don't ask the questions.
Mhm.
And then another limited belief that people have that I don't have is I don't have time. Why don't you have time?
Mhm.
And so, like, if you really break down your schedule, are you really using your time effectively? Because we all have the same 24 hours in a day. We can all get things done that we want to get done, things that we believe are important. So, are you not believing that your health is important, that your mindset is important? Like, why aren't you making time for that? Are you not believing that you should take care of yourself?
Mhm. Mhm.
What is it? So, it's
And it,
another limited belief that they saw and they've ingrained
mhm.
in them.
And we can stop. I tell you what, I had to stop I had to when it came down to time, right? Like you
Hmm.
said, and I'm like, okay, I want to start this workout thing. I want to really stick with it. I want to increase what I'm doing and all of this and blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, where's my time though? It's like it's time for bed, and I haven't raised a foot, And I had
Hmm.
to think about it. I said, oh, let me start really paying attention to how I'm spending my time.
Yes.
And I think I got that from a book I was reading as well, and they offered that up as a method to help you to understand that
Hmm.
you do have enough time to do whatever in the world that you really need to do.
You need to do a time
And
audit.
you just have to, because what I found myself doing when I started writing these things down, I began to understand that I spend too much time playing on this one particular game. I love word games, and I
Hmm.
just, and let me lose, I'm playing another one. Don't let me lose that one. I gotta play another one. So all of a sudden, my time has escaped me, right? But
Hmm.
now you can also fit that into our limiting belief system,
Hmm.
because we believe that there's just not enough time in a day. We hear that
Right.
quote,
Yep.
you
And a
know.
lot of people spend their time on social media, or they spend time watching Netflix, things like
Mhm.
that. I get guilty of it myself. But that's how you know if you cut back on that, you would definitely have enough time to do something every day. Your workout can be 30 minutes. That's nothing. If you do 30 minutes a day, that's absolutely nothing. And another thing too, people, I'm not a morning person or whatever. I find that getting up earlier and working out sets the tone for my day. And so if you keep saying you're not a morning person, then guess what? You're not a morning person. But if you
Right.
change the thought process, then boom. Hi, Linda.
Hey,
If you
Linda.
change,
I hope she's still around, but she probably checked in and checked out. But thank you for showing up, Linda. Thank you so much.
hmm
Yeah.
but yeah, change that thought process, people. Change that. I'm not a morning person. I don't
Right.
have enough time. That doesn't. Just change all of that. Change it all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's important to understand when it comes down to um, creating the life that you want. You have to put time into it. You have to invest in yourself.
Yes.
And I'm gonna say this here. It's important to understand why you are investing in your that why is the most
Yes.
significant. Woo,
Yes.
oh yes, that why will get you going. You know.
And have it where you can see it, because sometimes we let it escape us. So put it
Yeah.
where you can see it to remind yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
hmm
I agree with that. And so, I hopefully I think we've covered a bit there,
hmm
and um, but just make sure. I think what we really want you to take with you, if you've watched this to the end, which we appreciate, if it is to understand you have the power. Your life is in your power of
hmm
control.
hmm
Listening to others without making that connection that you where you can see how it will create better for your life and the people that you care about and all of that. That's important. So you got to make an investment though, in order to do that if you need to. And most of the time, we all do at some point. I
hmm
had to invest. I'm still investing in various things. I have to get the knowledge. I have to apply
hmm
the knowledge, examine the knowledge, and all this kind of stuff. But
hmm
it's worth it,
It's
right?
so
It's
worth it.
worth it.
And then in the end, you'll find that you've gotten so much back from your investment. That investment is like a drop in the bucket, because you've gotten so much back from doing the initial investment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
hmm
Exactly. So hopefully you gotten something out of this. Um, and please always, you can leave your comments. Like we're open to you
hmm
to get into our the chat rooms or whatever, just to have a quick chat, to see where you're at and what you if we can offer up. I know, once again, I know I can, and I believe that Dr. Sherry does too, which is offer up some free stuff too. We sometimes we offer up some free advice, or where you can go and look up some things for yourself, and you can
hmm
do a deep dive into your own life and probably come back to us, and then we can better connect, because now you'll understand what you need, and then we can put that strategical plan together, right? Because you got to have a plan.
Yeah.
So, you know, once once we get through talking about all this good mindfulness and limiting beliefs and all these things that we talk about and we'll talk about at the end of the day, you everybody needs a plan if they want their life to flow a certain way.
Yep.
If they
How are
want
you
their
gonna make it
health,
happen?
yeah, that's the only
Yeah.
way it's going to happen, right? So,
hmm
um, I will let you have a word in. We're going to close down, and anything you would like to leave us with?
Um. Well, maybe I guess, like, for people who are interested in just living a healthier life, like, my Facebook group is free, and we share a lot of information, and I challenge people. I ask questions to make you, really question: are you doing what you say you're gonna do? Are you doing what you need to do? Things like that. So that's a lot of free information, free advice in that group, and it's called All Things Health, Wellness, and Yoga. just answer the three admittance questions. And once you do that, you will be admitted. So all things health, wellness, and yoga. It's free. I love helping. It's for women, guys. So sorry, guys, it's for women only. But I love helping women to change their lifestyle. So help your lifestyle. So join our group, join our community, participate in the monthly challenges. I ask y'all questions, jog your thinking, and all those things. So I'm here for you. So just join us. And as I said before, I have the self love, relax, and rejuvenate retreat in the month of August. It's about 3 weeks away. You can still join us. It's not too late yet. Not yet. You can still join us. Feel free to do that. That does have a cost associated with it, but if you reach out to me, we'll talk about a way to make sure that you can come if it's a little out of your budget. And I'm also a coach, like I said before. I have options. I have the more intense option where we do Zoom weekly. I have the less intense option where we do Zoom monthly, and the even less intense option is when you have a goal or something that you're working towards. We can just talk for a few minutes to help you get on the right track. So
Awesome.
all of those are options that I have, and you can have your free complimentary clarity session with me so we can see, what is the best fit for you if either of them are. So, yeah.
Hmm. Very good, very good. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Dr. Cherry.
Hmm.
All right, so this has been really good. I always enjoy doing these. We do it bi-weekly,
Yeah.
and you can always we shoot out a flyer and we do it. You can find information about us on all of my particular social media platforms, but we do this specifically on the Passion, Purpose, Profit channel or
Yes.
platform, if you will. And so, once again, I am your host. I am a master life coach. I am also a visual professional artist. I do a lot of different little things, but I love it. I'm sort of like this Renaissance chick, but I honestly everything else, I really do enjoy seeing people reach their perspective of success, whatever that is. And I
Hmm.
really do want to be a part of that, right? So I really do. I'm even in the back. If I stay in the background, you'll never have to mention my name. I know in my heart, right, that I had something to do with that. You know what I mean? And so I work with men and women as well. And so reach out to us. We are here. We are down to earth. We do believe in, offering up practical methodologies that will help you along the way to get you to where you really want to be and show up in life. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you again for watching. And hey, watch the recording and share the recording. Thanks for your likes too. Okay. All right, Dr. Naisha, stay. Don't go anywhere.
All right. Bye, guys.